How are y'all feeling? How are you all living, man? It is 8:41 a.m. EST on the East Coast. I've been waking up every morning at 6:30 a.m. for the last like 3 weeks. I think I'm almost used to it, man. Coop redacted first chat. Welcome to the stream. I think I'm almost used to it. It actually makes your life better. I feel like the human condition was the human experience was conditioned. Dr. Maddie was good. The human experience was conditioned to wake up at 6:30 in the morning. Like I feel like you're supposed to go to sleep when it gets dark out, and you're supposed to wake up when it gets light out. Like I think this is like how it's supposed to go. I don't know. I read this thing the other day about like artificial light on your phone like ruined the human cognition experience, but I don't know. It is what it is. Anyone here on the West Coast, you're a real one if you are. You're super real one if you are, and I appreciate you being here. Spending 20 minutes in the sun every morning is the greatest life hack I've ever experienced. I have terrible, terrible, terrible news to tell you that looking at the sun before your phone in the morning is an improvement on your life. Horrific news, I hate to hear it. Really sucks. Terrible news. Wish it wasn't true. Unfortunately, it is true, and it is what it is. You go to sleep at 8:30 now. I go to sleep at 9:30, but last night I went to sleep at 10:30. It was a late one. It was a rager. It was a ripper. It was a rager. By the way, look at this. I just saw this on my feed. LMAO, remember this. What happened to all those people who bought them at $600 to $1,000 from scalpers? I don't understand why nothing can stay like relevant in culture. The SWAT, I really thought the SWATs thing was gonna break containment. What is it? What do they sell for right now? Dude, I really thought they were gonna break out. What was it called? Royal Pop. Jeez. Wow. $600 in the cheapest one. Look at this. Oh, I guess I have to sign up for the sales data. Man, these were selling for like 50. That's crazy. The swatches, which by the way, I've not seen a single person wearing these in the wild. I've not seen one swatch in the wild, not even on a dog, not even on a purse, not even hanging out of a car. I have not seen a single one of these on any. I've not seen one in real life. It lasted for, dude, the hype on Twitter lasted for one day. Even I, a pseudo connoisseur of culture, thought to myself that these were going to last a long time. I thought this was going to be a thing for like at least 6 months. I thought people were going to be flexing these in the club, maybe AP Swatch. It didn't even last a week, man. How's the Swatch group stock? It didn't even last a fucking week. How is that possible? Man, it feels like the cultural trend, like culture has TikTok brain as well. Like can't wow, it's on 5% today. Look at this. It's on atrocious. Yeah, look, it retraced the whole move. It pumped 20% after the drop, and it just retraced the entire move. The stock is lower than where they announced a collab with AP, bro. It feels like even it's down 4%. It feels like even culture has the TikTok brain, like Gen Z economy. You can't hold on to any. I don't know. You can't hold on to anything for more than a week. Nothing sticks. Even it felt like the World Cup, we couldn't even agree. I guess we agreed on the World Cup. Nothing sticks. It's crazy. It lasted 3 days. I'm actually shocked by that. And also, I don't know what the counter is to that. Like if people can only agree on one fashion concept for like a week at a time, what do you do after that? Like then what sticks? Like what do people like stay with? What do you stay with for a longer period of time? I don't even know how that works. Anyways, that's the AP Swatch. Completely forgot that happened and that existed, but shout out to Swatch. All right, let's start with a little roll call. Huck, what's good? Dexter, what's good? Tingle Trader, what's good? Sparky, Dr. Maddie, what's good? Respawn, what's good? Goldman, what's good? Caleb, what's good? Rectal, what is good? Live the Life TV, what is good? Andrew, what's good, brother? How are you? Finance, what's good? Simon, what's good? Caleb, what's good? Jay Byer, what's good? Pegasus, what's good? BTC Golem, what's good? Phil, what's good? God damn, Coop, what's good? BTW, what's good? Malcolm, what's up? Silas, what's good? Kenny, what's good? Bill, what is good? Prof, what is good? folding Gases. What is good? Large Leo, Bill Whitey. What is good? Man, I this whole like sell in May, walk away thing. It feels like they were onto something when they did that. The market feels so slow right now, and we're gonna cover it when it opens in 45 minutes. But it just like doesn't look great. It feels like we're just gonna be Chop City for a while here. I'm looking at DRAM right now. $56 is down 5% in the pre-market. It's about to just get back to the Gavin Baker. It's about to be back at the Gavin Baker bottom snipe level, which I think was like 51, maybe 52. It kind of looks terrible. Google had some ugly announcements come out about their Gemini, which is not doing well. They have earnings today. I think that's the big story of today. Like Google earnings is going to set a precedent, I suppose, for where we're going to be in the next couple. It felt like that Nvidia earnings a couple months ago, where it was like the entire market is held up by whether or not Nvidia beats earnings, and then they beat earnings and they still retrace the whole move. It feels like we're maybe in a similar spot with Google, so we're gonna miss it. But Google earnings is gonna be during market close. I think at right on market close. Yeah, it felt like the Micron one as well, where it's like Micron comes out, has the greatest earnings ever, like ever, and nothing happens. It goes up, it retraces the whole move. It comes down from where it was when it happened. I don't know. Maybe that's just like summer is the thing. At the same time, it feels like crypto has a little bit of juice right now, and I guess we're gonna find out whether or not this long Bitcoin short memory or crypto as a inverse to the memory trade is gonna work. We have like a little bit of retrace on crypto right now. Bitcoin's 65.7. This is like meme coins, brother. It does feel like meme coins. Bitcoin 65.7, long in the pit. You have to long in the pit. Pump is 1951, and it's printing this like weird console. I suppose it looks good. It looked better last night when I was going to bed, but it's 1950. VVV is like fine. ETH is actually looks pretty good. 1920. And then you have Hyperliquid, which does not look all that good. Chat, who here holds Hyperliquid? 58.6. And I've seen a couple working theories to the Hyperliquid, why it doesn't look great. One of them is the Clarity Act. And Clarity Act plus competition. You get things like lighter. If Clarity Act gets passed, you have like prediction market perps, you have like Coinbase perps, you have perps everywhere. The second, and I'm just gonna say it, I hate to be that guy, is the pump rotation might be in full effect. I'm just saying it. The pump rotation might be in full effect. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. We have a lot of markets. We have a lot of market stuff to cover. We have a lot of market stuff to get into. If you're watching on YouTube or Twitter and you like to chat, twitch.tv/threadguy, ChatGPT, like bro containment. I don't know. We got all types of shit going on. I got some intro stuff I want to cover, some cultural stuff I want to cover, some sell and made charts I want to look at. And on that note, let us get into some intro stuff. I met Jason Yanowitz yesterday. This is why I was up late. I wasn't sure he was going to post this. I met Jason Yanowitz from Blockworks yesterday. Guy's a fucking chat, for the record. I don't know if you watch his pod, Empire Pod. Really good podcast. They had a clip about us recently. They had a clip about our stream recently, by the way, about the pit, about how we're tapped into the culture and we like know what's going on and we're locked in on it. The third guy is Malcolm. Who's the third guy? The third guy is Malcolm, my co-founder. Co-founder and roommate, by the way. My goat. The kid's my actual goat, my truth. But I got dinner with him last night. I was up hella late. And, man, it feels like the sharp people that have been here for a long time feel pretty good about crypto. They do. The sharp people that have been here for a while feel good about crypto, which is pretty exciting to see. It's good to see. So shout out to Jason Yanowitz. Hit it with a little retweet. And I guess the last thing on the market that it's important to cover before pre is Brent is up pretty substantially right now. Brent's 90.1. And Man, do you remember 10 days ago I was like really long Brent oil once again? Do you remember this? And everybody in the chat was like, "Brad guy, like you're doing it again. You're doing it again. Don't do it. Don't do it." Do you remember this? I clicked a Brent long on, I don't even remember exactly what. Oh, I clicked a Brent long on the Trump blockade, bro. Do you remember this? Trump 20 when Trump enabled the 20% tax on the Strait of Hormuz. What was the exact date? Trump toll. He announced the toll on the Strait, and I thought to myself, yeah, this is the fucking, look at this. I think this is it. Yeah, this is it. He announces the toll on the Strait of Hormuz on crude oil, Brent oil. Let me find it. It's 90.2. Oh, I already have it. Look, bro. This would have, bro, it would have been a pretty silly one. I think I clicked it a little bit higher than this. They announced it at 78. I clicked like 82, 4 or 5x leverage. I mean, 12%, I don't know, whatever. 12%, 3x leverage, 35%. Isn't anything crazy, especially on Brent, because it's such a horrifying asset to long. But this is the type of trade I've found myself interested in recently. It's like there's a thesis on Brent, and then Trump comes in, does some completely out of left field shit, changes the thesis. It does a 180. All of a sudden, people don't really know how to price it. And then it's basically been up only from there. But the problem with Brent oil is this, which is it actually looks really pretty. This, bro. A lot of great men in the order books have died trading this for the breakout. And a lot of great ones die right here as well, trading this. Brutal. Every single time, like without fail. Brutal. Negligible cap. I shorted some SKM. It's effectively a bet that Chinese models will continue to pressure the market share, pricing, and thus margins of Anthropic and OpenAI. It might be naive to think anyone will care about their margins ahead of an IPO, but I think it's a good chance that they struggle to IPO above 1 trillion. Even if the US takes steps to ban Chinese open source models, it seems like a lose-lose for Anthropic, OpenAI, and eventually Google. With more resources and strong cash flow from other operations, or even Meta is bound to catch up. Yeah, I know they're building God or whatever, and Fable is ridiculous, but I don't think there's going to be a durable moat in the long run for model makers. A lot of people are building God, and we're still so early. God seems to be turning into a commodity. I would probably prefer to short OpenAI, especially considering the Apple lawsuits and smart home speaker they're wasting time on. The speaker is probably a waste of time, for the record. The speaker is probably definitely a waste of time, for the record. There's really no clean way to do it like SKM for Anthropic. Semi-infrastructure data centers seem to be another story. Also, if Anthropic does IPO in October, as discussed, I would likely add SKM short into that. See Sats and Echo going into the following SpaceX. By the way, this account's so good if you don't follow. I love this account. What is SKM? SKM stock. SKM is SK Telecom. South Korea's largest wireless carrier, serving tens of millions of mobile. Do they hold? Does SKM hold Anthropic? Yes. Wow, they invested 100 million in Anthropic in 2023. Wow. It's under 1% though. Wow. Hype down multi-coin capital. Yeah, we're going to talk about it. SKM is a relatively small market capitalization compared to other tech giants holding Anthropic. Anthropic's take makes up a massive portion of SKM's total valuation, giving it a pure play status among retail investors. I feel as if there hasn't been that much discussion about these upcoming IPOs, but they got to be in peril a little bit. It's crazy. Like even we have to be like these fun guys, at least, that see the future a little bit, have got to be like feeling a little bit that these IPOs are not going to go well. This is the craziest narrative switch that I feel like we've seen. Gavin Baker says open source AI shifts margins from the AI labs to the compute providers. We're basically running back the L1 thesis as well. We were talking about this on the morning call. It was like, first it was the apps, you went along apps, and then it was like, no, the value actually like accrues to the protocol, like the underlying infra, fat protocol thesis or whatever. Like, no, just buy ETH. Fuck the apps on top of ETH, just buy ETH, which at one point was a good trade. These blockchains were printing, but we're just running back the crypto, like, no. The app layer actually doesn't make any money, just buy the underlying. Like, forget Anthropic, they're gonna just commoditize tokens to zero. Just buy Nvidia or buy the infra underneath. But I don't know, man. This is kind of scary. Let's watch this real quick. It's kind of scary for when we get to the actual IPOs that are on the horizon. I mean, they're like the 2 biggest IPOs in history. We have the 3 biggest IPOs in history, all coming at the same time: SpaceX, Anthropic, OpenAI. SpaceX IPO has objectively gone terrible. Okay, you had like 2 days of green. It's had 12 straight red daily candles, and it's under the deal price, significantly under IPO price. It's under the deal price. Then you have Anthropic and OpenAI are on the horizon, ready to IPO at any point, and all the fun guys at the same time are coming out to say that they think the AI lab layer is going to get commoditized to zero, and these companies' revenues and earnings are not going to be good. They're going to just knife fight each other to zero. And so then what? Then we just what? Then we just what? What then? I felt like everyone thought or was predicting, like when we had Good Alexander on, Anthropic and OpenAI, we're going to do poorly because there wasn't enough money in the market to support their incredible economics. Now it's like their economics aren't incredible. It's sorted at 191 printing right now. Nice. SpaceX is Celestia. OpenAI is Barachain. Anthropic is Starknet. Oh. And what's Ethereum? What's Solana? What's Hyperliquid? What's Hyperliquid? No, what's Hyperliquid? What's Hyperliquid? Let's watch this real quick. It's a really good clip.
Open source models.
So do you guys know how big space is? Does anyone know how big the sun is?
So open source models fundamentally just shift margin percentage and margin dollars from the kind of model layer to the infrastructure layer. If you have cheaper tokens of an equivalent intelligence, we're going to consume more of those. And if you believe, like I do, that we are structurally short compute, then you don't worry so much about margins at the model layer.
And that's why that feeds you to...
This is a weird... we don't worry about margins at the model layer anymore. It's like, fuck, man. Then what? Fuck, man.
To a bullish thesis on neoclouds and other elements of the actual infrastructure build, yes?
I mean, I don't know if I would use the word bullish, but I do think it leads you to an interesting risk-reward. Neoclouds, Cerebras, NVIDIA, providers of compute, whether it be to frontier models or open source models.
But talk a little bit more about, we were teasing out what you were just saying about, so we get these Chinese open source models like the Kimi one, and everyone freaks out that they're better and they're cheaper and they're open source. You don't necessarily think it's bad for OpenAI and Anthropic. Why?
Well, it may end up being bad for them, but I just think
it may end up being bad for them.
The fundamental principle, I think open source software, like Red Hat, back in the day, now part of IBM, that is much cheaper than software that's free. But a token, AI, when you consume it, it costs the same amount of compute, of watts, of energy, of CapEx, of OpEx to generate an open source token as it does to generate an Anthropic token.
So then why do corporates have to pay so much more for Anthropic?
Well, because it turns out that there is and this has been very surprising to me over the last year, that there is an enormous return to being at the frontier of intelligence. And I think the future is likely to be one in which maybe a majority of economic returns continue to accrue to these frontier tokens, but the majority of tokens processed are these very cheap open source tokens. And you can think of it, you use, if every enterprise, they're going to have a symphony of AI models that they use. And you're going to have
He's completely lost me, by the way. I understood the beginning part. He's kind of lost me a little bit.
The conductor, maybe that's Anthropic, maybe that's Grok. And then you're going to have a lot of, people playing instruments. And those are these cheaper Chinese open source models that maybe have been fine-tuned on an enterprise's own data. They're worried about their data leaking to a closed source frontier model provider. And I think that is a likely future.
Yeah. They're starting, you can see it. They're starting the circuit. They're starting the circuit. You hear it, the chatter. We hear it because we pay attention all day. They're starting to do it. The model layer is whatever, but everybody needs to compute. Everybody needs to compute. Everybody needs Cerebras. Everybody needs the NeoClouds. Everybody needs Nebius. Everybody needs everybody needs the underlying stuff, which we also hold. But they're starting to play the song. You can hear it, man. You can hear it. It's definitely worth noting. Also, that Trump tweet that you just sent, was that new? Did that just happen? Yeah, it did just happen. Okay, let's tap in on War and Oil real quick. I also have some intro stuff, but maybe we could like work backwards on stream today. Oh, also, I'm doing an interview today. Not on stream though. I'm gonna do it off stream. I think it's gonna be cool with Vlad from Lighter is gonna come on, and we're gonna do like a 30-minute interview, and I'm just gonna rip. We're gonna like just rip through clips, and I'm gonna just clip. I'm gonna post it with like all the clips ready to go. Clip, 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 clip. By the way, Vlad's from Virginia. He's from Northern Virginia. He's from where I'm from. He went to like my friend's high school. I had no idea. He went to Harvard. The guy was 16 years old and went to Harvard. Okay, so here's where we're at with new Trump announcement. Let me read it. From this point forward, anytime the Islamic Republic of Iran shoots at a ship in the Strait of Hormuz, whether it be by missile, rocket, drone, or any other device or weapon, the United States will bomb and destroy one bridge or power plant, including those located next to or in the capital city of Tehran. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. That is a crazy tweet. Jeez. Man. I really can't believe we're still doing this, but it felt like there was a level of escalation that happened last night. He listed every weapon, by the way. He listed out every weapon he could. And there was an announcement last night that Iran, proof of work, are you long oil? No way. Iran says it has struck an Amazon data center in Bahrain in retaliation for a U.S. attack on Iran's Darkovian nuclear project. Iran has also said it targeted a U.S. military base in Jordan, claiming to have destroyed an F-15 fighter jet and missile defense radar system. Wait, what is a F-15 fighter jet KD? It's 104.0 KD on the F-15. So it's just shot like an idle one? Or was that number one? No way that that's number one, right? Surely that's not number one. Also, if you're watching on YouTube or Twitter, there's a lot of people over on YouTube, and you would like to chat, twitch.tv/threadguy. It shot down an F-15? Or just, okay, destroyed an F-15. It's probably in the hangar. Which let Brent crude surge over 95. And so, yeah, they've destroyed they destroyed an Amazon data center in Bahrain, like an AI data center, which is crazy. It warns it will now strike more tech facilities. The RGC said this will begin a new phase with Iran having previously warned 18 U.S. tech companies, including Tesla, Microsoft, Google, Apple, Nvidia, and Oracle, as legitimate targets. Iran has also previously declared all of Elon Musk's companies as targets, specifically Starlink ground stations and satellites. I'll tell you what, man. They start blowing up AI infrastructure, and whatever Trump is lagging on is gonna stop lagging. That, in my opinion, that will end this thing real quick, or that will reach mass escalation real quick. You cannot play with the US's AI info, right? Not right now. Not right now, man. Not right now. Not right now. No way. Not now. Not during Kimmy K3. Not during this fear. No way is that gonna. I don't think that is gonna go over very well at all. So I guess I have a singular video. We'll watch real quick. And that's like the best of this video. Did this interview with this guy Matthew, who is supposed to be like the natural gas expert, and they're all predicting chaos about this. I do want to watch this real quick. By the way, this guy's pod is so good. I got to give him props. I really have to give him props.
Control 70% of remaining.
Thread, you should tell us how you stay so plugged in. How do you gather headlines and choose what to cover each day? Because this is my entire life and the only thing I think about. What are the best things we could do on stream to make sure we're tapped in? I do what I would want. I just regurgitate what I would want. What I would do anyways, I just do it on. I just turn a camera on.
Expand Energy is probably at the top of that list. They probably control 70% of remaining core Haynesville wells. Expand Energy.
Expand Energy. I don't know what that
is probably at the top of that list. They probably control 70% of remaining core Haynesville wells. The very closely known parameters of rock where we know it to be very productive. And so Expand, we think, is far and away the biggest winner. Uniquely, Expand is CEO list right now. The stock has plummeted over the last 6 months as a part of that search, and it's trading at 4 times EBITDA. The stock has dropped. The assets have not changed. It has some of the highest quality rock in the country. Highest quality upstream company in Appalachia is probably Range. Range has significant room to grow production and materially grow returns to investors.
I'm not sure this is what I thought it was.
Solar assets stand to benefit from a windfall where electricity prices are going up because the marginal plant taking fuel where the price is increasing is rising, while the sun costs the same. And so we think there are some companies positioned very well for margin expansion for no incremental capital costs.
Yeah, it is the natural gas shortage problem. I thought this was the natural gas take.
XPLR, tickers XIFR, formerly.
Damn, they go on pods and just rip tickers. Has this always been a thing? VCs used to do this 10 years ago. They go on a podcast and they're just like dropping tickers.
The NextEra Yieldco, which is an interesting set of assets. They have a windfall coming in the latter part of the decade, in early 2030s, ceteris paribus, because they mark their PPAs to market at much higher values without any capex. Clearway Energy would be another one, similar circumstance. And so solar assets at the utility scale especially stand to win. Residential solar, which has been suffering from really the first removal of tax incentives to install residential solar since like the late 70s.
Man, I thought he was going to talk about Iran natural gas shortage. No. Who is this guy? He forecast an unprecedented natural gas shortage starting in 2028. He names 4 winners: gas producers, midstream, nuclear, and solar.
Expand Energy is probably at the top of that list. They probably control natural gas.
Interesting. Matthew
well
Smith.
Natural gas is
Never heard of him. Yeah, that was hard to care about.
well supplied is what we can look.
Matthew Smith. He doesn't tag him. Interesting. Maybe I will watch this at some point, but yeah, it does feel it. Crazy that still convinced that there isn't an incoming global energy crisis from this war. I'm just sitting here like listening to this, and I cannot imagine being a lifelong like energy investor. Like, can you imagine you are Rory Johnson, and you're a lifelong like oil trader. That is like your career. You trade oil, and you get the biggest singular oil crisis over the last like 15 years, and prices down from when there was like strike number 1 that hit Iran. It's insane. It really is insane. Crazy that natural gas is $2.90 might buy. Crazy that natural gas is $2.90. I don't even know. It's just like nat gas. He did a crazy PDF along with it. Send it, Frank. Have you ever thought about trading the upcoming El Nino? Wow, look at this. This is the natural gas chart. I mean, this has to be like so tilting. Crazy. It said nothing. War started. Yeah, it's down significantly actually since the war started. Natural gas. I guess I don't know anything about natural gas whatsoever. Also, quick check-in. 56 pre on DRAM. Not great, man. I'll tell you what. Gavin Baker and the boys better defend those lows because I think it's going to get ugly if we get back there. All right, let's do a complete 180. I have a couple intro topics that I wanted to cover that I missed. Also, look at this real quick. Holy fuck, this is crazy. Coming events cast their shadows before. The future is here. It's just not evenly distributed. Dear friends, I'm writing this letter to you, a small group of finance who are aware of the rigor and painstaking scrutiny I would undertake prior to sharing a conclusion like this. This will sound like hearsay. Energy, power, and AI hearsay. But the numbers are plain. Our base case forecasts a shortage of natural gas for which there is no precedent starting in the second half of 2028. This is based on the current trajectory and maximum deliverable natural gas production through 2030 and structural sources of incremental demand, both liquefied natural gas, LNG exports, and natural gas fueled power generation. We reached this conclusion by modeling nearly every asset in the United States' natural gas system over the past 15 months. We incorporate natural gas well development inventory and a creage of all public companies and most relevant private companies, the associated gathering, processing, and pipeline capacity, and known expansion projects. We also factor in known storage capacity and storage additions, as well as the current operating and contemplated natural gas generation additions over the same horizon, most of which are associated with powering AI. We include all approved or committed LNG projects between now and 2030. When you put all the pieces together carefully, acknowledging constraints, it becomes apparent that the United States will begin to deplete natural gas and storage in an unprecedented way by 2028. By 2030, we are likely to exhaust working natural gas storage. The fuel everyone thinks is abundant is not. By 2029 and 2030, natural gas will be frighteningly short supply relative to structural incremental demand for the fuel. This does not portend a modest price increase. Whoa. The bottleneck is moving upstream. The market is focused on power. The real bottleneck will be natural gas resource deliverability, where few are focused. A crisis is coming. Unfortunately, the die is cast. Whoa. Letter to investors. Thomas Campbell and William Gibson. Wow. June 22nd, 2026. Here, I just sent it. What the wait, not gas. June 22nd. Didn't move price at all. Wow, I did not. How did I not gas? How did I miss this? I ran it on paste. Oh, here it is. Colossus. In June, Matthew Smith wrote a letter to a small group of confinants about the U.S. natural gas market. Go to page 8. Production. 20 BCF per day of incremental production infrastructure capacity by the year of 2030 maximum. 20 LNG exports, 20 BCF per day of incremental LNG project already approved by the end of 2030. More than 5 BCF per day approved in P50 natural. What am I reading? Oh. Thank you. Clear winners. Natural gas producers in the United States and Canada should be clear winners, especially those with future inventories of wells to drill without hard gathering, processing, or pipeline constraints. Vital midstream assets, gathering, processing, compression, and pipeline should be well positioned to benefit. Clear losers. American residential consumers of electricity are unknowingly short natural gas. Hyperscalers. The more right we are, the more LNG exporters and contracts will be at risk. Wow. I sent it in the chat if you want to read. Maybe we'll do another segment on this off stream. That is that's kind of terrifying to read. Okay, let's do one intro topic just because I want to watch a couple intro videos, then we're going to get to the market because we kind of started backwards. First and foremost, something to flag as a private credit play. Seems like we are early and the key players have gone silent, which makes me think there's a series of bets being short these bonds. What is this? Bloomberg private credit article. Wall Street alchemists tap insurers to unfreeze private markets. When I hear alchemy invoked on Wall Street, it triggers me. In 2007, the head of BlackRock's CDO business was quoted saying, "I turned shit into gold." In 2007, what a quote. We know the story ends. The insurance wrappers attempt to keep the party rolling because all it takes for this unravel is a second derivative of flows to slow, stop, or reverse. All right. And good news, I watched this morning. Fired me the fuck up.
Yo, we just passed a funded account inside of his school bus. Look at this. inside of a bus. Easy 1.25 when loses flat. 20 gun job to you guys. Yeah, I was about to hit 1.2.
Wait, it's so sped up. 45.
5, yes. Close it. No. No, I needed at 1.25. Come on. Are you kidding me, bro? Oh.
Bink.
Yes! Funded account pass inside of the bus, guys. Let's go.
The kids are going to be all right, man. The kids are good. I don't know if this makes you happy or sad. This makes me so happy. I watch this. It makes me so happy. The kids are going to be all right. It also makes me think at some point here in a very near future, when these kids, I know they're like watching a Call of Duty in the background. These kids are like 12. When they're like 18, there is going to be bubbles that form in individual assets that nerf and dwarf everything that has ever happened relative to where we are at right now. And the negative side of it is that we are going to probably see structural crashes in markets that you did not think were mathematically possible. That is going to happen. There will be crashes that hit the market that you did not deem to be mathematically possible at one point or another. The other thing, this might sound crazy. You know how I spent all of last week and all I could think about, also if you're on YouTube, Twitter, whatever, and you want to chat, Twitch TV/threadguy. I spent all of last week thinking about meme coins. It's the only thing I thought about all of last week was Pump Fun and so basically Solana meme coins and Robinhood meme coins. The only thing that I can think about right now is new pairs. Like, bro, I've been watching trenching streams recently. This morning I was watching a trenching stream. Last night I was watching a trenching stream. The only thing I can think about right now is new pairs, bro. Which might sound, I don't even know how that sounds coming out of my mouth because I haven't thought about a new pair in like a long time. I've been watching Frank. Who is this? I've been watching this guy's stream like for a while. This is what I was watching yesterday. Who is this?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
No clue. This guy's live every day on Twitch, 500, 600. I've been watching new pair streams, which is, yeah, mega. I think he's a Fortnite kid at some capacity. I have been watching new pair streams, but all right. Let's do a quick couple crypto topics. First thing is probably makes our collective net worth every hour. Dude, it's so gross how much money these fucking people print. It is unlike. Also, I saw this on the new pair thing. Last thing. And I want to talk about crypto before market open, which is very soon. Orangey. There's this subset
Humankind cannot
of basically like trenching TikTok. It's basically like crypto lore TikTok that I don't really know exists. Okay. They talk about Zach XBT in depth. Someone posted this TikTok on my feed today, and it was just a screenshot of a DM from Zach XBT that said, "Hey," it had like 20,000 likes. Zach XBT. And the second thing I get is I'm getting posts like this on my TikTok all of the time now.
Humankind cannot gain anything without first giving something in return. To obtain something of equal value
Just
must
trenching,
be
bro.
lost. That is alchemy's first law of equivalent exchange. In those days, humankind cannot
Quad
gain
monitoring,
anything.
bro. Just quad monitoring new pairs. It's like my whole feed. It's my whole feed, man, on TikTok. There's like this like cult folklore that's getting built on TikTok right now. And they're not on CT, really. They're really not on CT. It spreads like folklore. It does. Dude, you search Zach XBT on, I don't know if this is good or bad, but you search Zach XBT. Like, look at this, bro. 10K likes on this. Bro, it's actually folklore. Wait, there's another one here. Look at this. 37,000 likes. Malone only got arrested because he refused to give Zach XBT a cut. It's crazy. It's like arbed out, bro. Zach XBT is watching. Like, look at this shit. Malone is like Icarus. Like, Malone talk is insane. Look at this shit.
Show me your friends, I'll tell you your future. Your try ain't like you're a loser. As a young kid, I ride on a scooter. I'm the source of...
It's crazy. They hate Zach. You know what is Yeah, it's actually nuts. Axiom's got exposed by Zach XBT. If you include someone's account a bunch of money, but a person named Zach XBT message you. Zach XBT created a secret. I remember the first time I got a DM from Zach XBT, by the way, is like actually scary. Just the fact, just his name like pops up. And the thing about it too is that the only difference between Zach XBT, Rossi was good. The only difference between Zach XBT and Malone is Malone has better TikTok editors. And so TikTok, like, that sounds crazy out of context, by the way. Malone lore is like a he's like a worshipped legend on TikTok. And Zach is like, they like villainify Zach. Meanwhile, Zach XBT is like one of the last, he's like one of the last ones standing. They talk about Malone like he's like a Greek Roman like deity. And they talk about Zach like he like is the mean guy that like ruins all the fun. It's insane lore. You should really go through it on TikTok. That and kimchi. Look at this, 50K likes, bro, on this.
But if the driver rear ends somebody, I'm gonna fall into your lap.
50K likes on this.
Oh shit.
It's actually nuts. I did not 100K likes.
Kimchi made 40 million off one trade. He's a little Asian guy. He like retired off just like one trade.
100K likes.
And now all he does is like these like trips where they just travel the world. Like right there. All he does is like
100K likes. 100K likes.
Is meme coin trading?
Talking about kimchi. 30K likes.
What's been like your craziest purchase?
I've been buying a bunch of bullshit. Like I've been buying clothes, pillows, blankets.
50K likes.
I do it for my parents,
okay,
but it's also.
Bros, get over me. I didn't even see you. My bad, bro. 25K likes. 25K likes? They're infinite. Bro, 100K likes. Oh, man, if there's one thing that I've learned by doing this all day, every day for the last 4 or 5 years, is that's this socialification of trading is never going anywhere. My most confident take is that the celebrities of the 2030s are the best traders, or the traders with the best marketing. This is my most confident take. Is the celebrities of 2030 are the best traders. This is my most confident take. I've never believed in a take more than this. This is the take. It's like, you want to be famous, learn how to trade. You want to have IRL motion, learn how to trade. Like, you want to get million, bro, crypto influencers are the new athletes. I'm just gonna, dude. The motion and the notoriety that's gonna happen when Ansem has $1 billion in a Solana wallet, and when Ansem has $1 billion in a Phantom wallet, bro, and we're talking about Ansem's a billionaire, we're gonna have to have some tough conversations on motion levels in the world. I think they're more comparable to rappers. Yeah, totally. 100% comparable to rappers. This is my most confident take, is that these guys are going to be like, this is also an interesting trend as well that I think is going to happen. And by the way, I was in the shower thinking about this, Frank. We're going to have some tough conversations about the competition that was going on in the 80s and the 90s when retail traders were not allowed to listen to earnings calls. We are going to have some difficult conversations on who George Soros' counterparty was. We're going to have some really tough combos. What's good, babes? We are going to have some tough combos about who exactly Druckenmiller was trading against back in the day. All right, I'm going to get up real quick. We're back in 30 seconds. When I'm back, stock market opens. You already know what we have to do. BRB. Wait, is there a clip about Bill Ackman saying Buffett was trading against plumbers? There's a clip of this? That's crazy if that exists. Does that really exist? Is there a clip? That's crazy if that exists. I'm just gonna say it, man. It's like these guys were trading against. Bro, back in the day, retail traders could not even listen to earnings calls. It was not public. He didn't say it directly, but it's implied. Please send me it. All right, stock market opens in 30 seconds. We got to refocus. We'll talk about some plumbing in a little bit. We open in 30 seconds. Pre-market is not great. DRAM is down 5%, and we have Google earnings today, which may determine the fate of things for a little bit around here. Here's where we're at. Stock market opens in 15 seconds. As always, market open is powered by Phantom. It's powered by Phantom because anything you want to trade, stocks, crypto, if you want to go cash, if you want to hold stable coins, if you want to do perps, tokenized stocks, whatever it is, if you could trade it, you could do it with Phantom, and the stock market is officially open. All right, let's go. It's gonna be a pretty big day today in the market. I'm also curious to see, like, there's been these sneaky rumblings. Also, if you're on YouTube, Twitter, you want to chat, twitch.tv/threadguy. There's been these sneaky rumblings about a memory to crypto rotation. As memory stalls out and or goes flat and or goes red, crypto, Bitcoin specifically, and pump fund have been looking pretty good. Is that something that can continue? Is that just a couple weird days of price action? Where exactly are we? We're going to find out. The S&P 500, the SPX opens at 7489, down 0.27%. The Kospi yesterday was very weak, by the way, gapped up and then was pretty much down only. It closed up 0.75%. The Russell's down 0.2. Qs are down 0.6. We have a tweet. What is it? Samsung details features of its smart glasses as it enters market dominated by Meta. Everyone is doing smart glasses. I hate this trend. The Sox is down 1.5%, but it's fighting green on the open. The Sox Sol, that's down 4.7%. The IGV is down 1% and nasty on the open. IGV is so disgusting. Mags is down 0.37. They're pretty weak. I'm going to imagine Google is dipping right now. We'll look at it in a minute. And Ethereum is 56.49. It is fighting on the open. It's down 4%, and it's at sort of a key-ish level, right? Like, this is kind of this area we've been hanging out at for a while. It kind of feels like Chop City, but lows are 48. Feels like it has to get above 60s before it really is doing anything. I think Gavin Baker, Bill Ackman, Dan Loeb, the Avengers, all came out to call bottom at, I don't know what, like 52 and some change. Gold is wild. And what's good, Sully? Let's take a look. VIX is up 1.3 today. Bond yields are up across the board. Stretch is 87. Copper is 65.4. And gold is up 1. Wow. Gold is wilding today. First chatter, Sully, are you long? Ooh. This looks pretty fucking good, actually. Gold. 41.41. It's up 1 point. Damn. It's up 1.6%, and it looks pretty goddamn good. Silver's up 1.6. Bitcoin 65.6. It's down 1.3% today. Not great on the open. Let's go 5 minutes. Pump is 1960. Not great as well. All right, semis, AI names. Let's get into it. Biggest gainer on the day is Dell. That's up 6.16. Cerebra's back above 220. It's hitting a god candle right now. It's up 6%. How does high time frame look? Gotta look pretty good, right? Yes, it does. Frank Degod's entry is marked on the chart at 184. Assuming he's still in from that level, is up 21% from the Frank Degod's entry. Frank, are you still in? We're 3 minutes into the open now. Cerebus is really strong. That's a good sign. Rocket Lab secured some contract yesterday, right? Rocket Lab. If you see Cerebus up, just know one brown boy smiling. Rocket Lab was awarded a $266 million contract by the U.S. Space Force and Department of War to provide suborbital launch services. This deal includes 12 launches with options for 6 additional missions running through December 2028 and launching from the Pacific Spaceport Complex in Alaska. This massive award for military research and hypersonic technology builds on Rocket Lab's recent string of government wins, which includes a $90 million Space Force contract to build 2 geostationary satellites from Rocket Lab. Space Force is nuts. Also, YouTube gang, Twitter gang, everywhere. If you like to chat, twitch.tv/threadguy. Rocket Lab's up 3.37% on the news. It's back at 71.42. Netflix, first green candle maybe in the last month. That's up 1%. Oracle up 0.5. Shaw's from the rafters all of a sudden starts looking pretty decent. What do you got? ETF inflows yesterday were really good. 203 million on Bitcoin, 226 the day before, 132 the day before. Longest string of green only inflow days on BTC in a while, if I'm not mistaken. The Shaw's looks pretty good. 71.72. I still haven't sold. My rationale for buying is the rationale for not selling, which is, do I think I'm smarter than Leopold Aschenbrenner? The answer is no. Therefore, I think I'm going to sit in it despite it not looking great. Also, let's mark the Kevin Zhu sell. Kevin Zhu. Oh, he's all in Nokia. That's his new buy. Got it. You know, I found a level of appreciation for Kevin Zhu because there's not that many people that post their trade ideas on the TL, and for that I can appreciate it. But he sold like 68. Shaw's is now up 2% on the day. Also, we're 6 minutes into the open. We'll check back in on the indices in a minute. Shaw's 72.30, and my computer is glitching. Apple is red. That's on 0.6. Firefly Space Stock. That's on 0.5. Google has earnings today. It is red on the open. It was up in the pre. That's down, or that's up technically 0.12. Bloom Energy 222. I have too many tabs open. My computer's getting throttled. Come on. Bloom Energy 223. Redwire's down 0.3. IBM, man, this thing has gotten destroyed. I keep mentioning this, but it's crazy. I sold IBM for 295 like 2.5 weeks ago. After remember the Quantum Day announcement? It's 210 right now. Look at this thing. Look at the high time frame on IBM. It looks horrifying if we're just being objective about the chart physiognomy. SPCE, Space Shitter, that's down 0.7. Adobe's down 0.5. Tesla down 0.3. QCOM down 0.6. Man, it feels like everything is red. Microsoft down 0.75. Amazon down 1. Meta down 1. SpaceX somehow still red. That's down 0.6. Nvidia's down 0.3. Mags have to be red. Broadcom is down 0.5. AMD just made a big announcement today. Let me see. They announced Wall Street Journal, which I'm a subscriber to. AMD and Anthropic signed major chips and investment deal. The 2 gigawatt deal covers tens of billions of dollars worth of chips, as AMD plans to invest up to $5 billion in Anthropic. They signed a deal for tens of billions of dollars. Under the terms of the agreement, Anthropic will purchase 2 gigawatts of AMD's latest generation of chips called the Instinct MI450, starting at the first half of 2027. AMD will also invest up to $5 billion in Anthropic. Quote, we very much wanted to be a major part of their infrastructure. AMD chief executive Lisa Su has said. Yeah, she is a fucking shark, by the way. So AMD's up 0.3% on the news. It's at 465. It ripped the pre-market at like 551. ARM is down 2.5. Snowflake is down 3. Marvell losing it in the pre-market gains. That's down 1.5. BlackBerry's down 2. Micron 950 though, not bad. Almost reclaimed 1,000 in the pre. That's down 2%. Intel down 2%. They have earnings on Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, Thursday. Intel does have earnings. Nokia is down 3. SanDisk down 4. And ADR SK Hynix is down 4.13. Palantir's down 3 as well. Let's see, where are we? DRAM is fighting. Definitely fighting. 57 is down 3%. Mags are losing it, though. They're going the wrong way. It's down 0.5. IGV is getting crushed. You know, every time I listen to the stock guys, they keep saying, like, SaaS dip, SaaS dip, SaaS dip, SaaS dip, SaaS dip. We've been saying it for like 6 months, but what if the SaaS dip just never stops? What is there to say that the SaaS dip is going to wash out and there will be like a good time to buy SaaS again? It feels as if the only times this was tradable, it was like structural levels. Like it bounced. Okay, cool. It like ripped on like a structural breakout, and then it got super oversold, bounced on like a structural breakout. But there's basically been no continuation of strength on the IGV at any point over the last, since I've been following it. $90 on that. Soxel is down 2%. I think SaaS is dead. Not gonna lie. People build their own SaaS with AI for $50. Yeah, I mean, the bit was always like, you know, there's this like conflating bits, which is like, okay, you can't vibe code, you know, Salesforce contracts. But in a lot of ways, I think the conflating narrative is like Gen Z entrepreneurship is everybody just builds everything. Dude, I saw this TikTok of Orangey the other day, and he's like, I built 150 apps in the last month. And like, yeah, they're probably mostly slop, but the new meta is like, I think Steven Schwartz had a good clip about new meta is like everybody just builds everything. Gen Z entrepreneurship.
Try to experiment as much as
look at this.
you possibly.
Should be able to spawn businesses at the speed of thought, the ultimate form of experimentation. I kind of want to watch this really quick. Advice to young people. This is like to me, this is like the epitome of the death of SaaS. Is this?
Try to experiment as much as you possibly can, and don't feel like you're wasting a lot of time, because the only real risk is not doing anything. And my probably overarching advice to young people would be just to try things out and see what happens. And
I mean, look what Frank built. Paste Trade. Look at Paste. It's like, I don't know. That to me feels like that is like the SaaS killer, bro. The SaaS killer is like just ship some shit. The IBB Why do all these founders have crazy hair? That's what we do, man. Pace is great. Down 0.3. Sox is down 0.6, but it's fighting, man. DRAM as well. Pretty strong open, I would say, for memory. The NASDAQ is down 0.4, but it's strong. The Dow is green. And the SPY is fighting. It's now only down 0.13. Let's check back in on crypto, and then we'll go to some of our consumer names. Bitcoin looking pretty good in the open as well. We're now 11 minutes into open. ETH as well, man. That's up 0.3. Pump Fun is like pretty strong. Not bad. Shaw's is super strong. VVV not bad as well. I think crypto looks good, man. You're getting like continuation, and then gold is going for it. Gold is going for it. Stretch is 88 still, which is nice. Where's Brent oil in the mix of all of this? It's pretty strong. 90.71 for Brent oil. I find myself very interested in crypto these days, and I don't really feel as if that much has happened, but just 65.8 for Bitcoin. I think high time frame looks really good, and I think what's the word I'm looking for? Like not consensus, but like whatever. A lot of smart people are agreeing on the same thing. Like a lot of smart people are coming to similar theses on crypto. All right. Some of our consumer names, NeoClouds are over here. This list is a little bit of a mess. CoreWeave, biggest gainer, that's up 3.3. AMC, the biggest piece of dog shit that I despise, is up 3.4% today. Not conversion, no, it's like Confluence. Thank you. IREN's up 2. The enhanced games is up 2.7. Car is up 1.3. Ferrari is up 1 on news that their new car is just the worst thing of all time. Nebius is up 1.3 and looks like it's had a pretty strong reversal as well, right? I think this, like, I guess which dip was it? Maybe this dip was the Meta is working on is going to rent out compute. But I think Nebius looks really good, all things considered. DNAP, are you in? And Frank, are you in? Mars up 1, Wendy's up 1, PayPal up 0.3. GME never move. It's crazy. GME does not move. Doesn't move at all. IBKR beat earnings yesterday. They had a sick earnings. We're gonna look at some IBKR stats in a minute because they published their stats. They published stats on how good their traders are. It's up. It's 94, almost at an all-time high. Robinhood is flat. Eli Lilly is down 1%. StubHub is down 1%. Anything above 0 for StubHub is too high. Take Two, Wavy, I'm sorry. That's down 1. Nike down 1.3. MSTR is about to lose 100 again. There's some ugly stuff. Reddit is down 10% on news that they're not going to sell to Google anymore. What was the Reddit news? Reddit. They had some ugly news. They said that they don't want to sell to Google anymore, right? Maybe since 135. Nice. Reddit was in focus on Wednesday after reports said that the social media platform is considering cutting off Google's access to its content for AI use. While an institutional shareholder reportedly disclosed a substantial reduction in its stake of the company. Who sold? Substantial shareholder sold Reddit. Who sold? There it is. Chief Operating Officer, COO, Jennifer Wong sold $7.75 million of stock. That doesn't feel like it's that big of a deal. Feels like you could just slurp that up, right? But they are cutting off this Google deal. $60 million a year. Licensing agreement. Literally second article in the search. And then CEO sold $3.6 million. It doesn't seem like that's like, maybe it's like the guy who sold matters, but it doesn't seem like that big of a deal. Anyways, Reddit's down 10% today. Pretty nasty. I think the mid entry is close. Mid entry is 143 on Reddit. Yeah, eBay doesn't move, and Roblox down 2.25. Coinbase down Back to big AI. Biggest gainer, Cerebrus. It's going for it. Why? 233 on CBRS. CrowdStrike and Cerebrus are partnering to run Falcon AI detection and response models on Cerebrus's inference infrastructure, aiming to accelerate real-time threat detection and response. Is it CrowdStrike? Is that up? No, it's down 2%. Doesn't feel like a big deal. What's good, Spicy Meatball? Wow, look at this thing go. 235, 236, 13%. Holy fuck. High time frame looks nuts. Look at that thing go. I mean, break above here too. It feels like it's nothing but air above. Look at this. Invert this chart. Looks like it's going to zero. Look at that. Going lower? Yeah, I think so. Look at that double. Look at that nasty double top. Cerebrus. Nasty. GG. Send that thing into 270, man. I traded this on IPO as well. I hate trading IPOs though. I'm not good at them. Dell is up 8% as well. Rocket Lab still up 3. Pretty quiet day except for Cerebrus going for it. Is anyone really losing it? SanDisk is down 2. Recovery. DRAM has to be up. It is. It is. Did I close my Nebius long at 2:12? And now 17 minutes into open. It's not the most eventful open ever, but there's some strength. Wow, 237, 238. Cerebrus. Holy fuck, who's bidding? 238.5. Cerebrus. Wow. Wow. What a monster. 238, 239. Cerebrus. What's the Gavin shield? DNAP, send it to me. Send it to me. Wow. Man. What a monster. It's the clip you watched. Oh, you think that wouldn't that also mean Nebius 239.5? Wouldn't that also mean like Nebius is up? Shouldn't it mean AMD is up a lot? Shouldn't it mean Nvidia is up? Shaw is 72.18. Shouldn't that mean like everything is up a lot? It's a good semis play X Nvidia. Yeah, Nvidia is too big. What about AMD? Sub 0.3. Wow. 240 on Cerebrus. Insane. Where's the clip? Let's watch. I want to watch it one more time. Where's the clip? Is it this? You think this is the reason? This was from yesterday. You think this is the reason Cerebrus is ripping? Let's watch it one more time. I like the clip.
So open source models fundamentally just shift margin percentage and margin dollars from the kind of model layer to the infrastructure layer. If you have cheaper tokens of an equivalent intelligence, we're going to consume more of those. And if you believe, like I do, that we are structurally short compute, then you don't worry so much about margins at the model layer.
And then that's why that feeds you to a bullish thesis on neoclouds and other elements of the actual infrastructure build, yes?
I mean, I don't know if I would use the word bullish, but I do think it leads you to an interesting risk reward. Neoclouds, Cerebrus, Nvidia, providers of compute, whether it be to
Neoclouds, Nvidia, Cerebrus.
Frontier models or open source models.
But talk a little bit more about, we were teasing out what you were just saying about, so we get these Chinese open source models like the Kimi one, and everyone freaks out that they're better and they're cheaper and they're open source. You don't necessarily think it's bad for OpenAI and Anthropic. Why?
Well, it may end up being bad for them, but I just think the fundamental principle, I think open source software, like Red Hat, back in the day, not part of IBM, that is much cheaper than software. It's free. But a token, AI, when you consume it, it costs the same amount of compute, of watts, of energy, of capex, of opex to generate an open source token as it does to generate an Anthropic token.
So then why do corporates have to pay so much more for Anthropic?
Well, because it turns out that there is and this has been very surprising to me over the last year, that there is an enormous return to being at the frontier of intelligence. And I think the future is likely to be one in which maybe a majority of economic returns continue to accrue to these frontier tokens, but the majority of tokens processed are these very cheap open source tokens. And you can think of it, you use, if every enterprise, they're going to have a symphony of AI models that they use. And you're going to have the conductor. Maybe that's Anthropic. Maybe that's Grok. And then you're going to have a lot of, people playing instruments. And
wow. Cerebrus, Neoclouds, Nvidia. Also, if you're on YouTube, Twitter, what's up, YouTube Squad, and you'd like to chat, twitch.tv/ threadguy. I would have let that message through, by the way. I didn't see it. You see, Frankie, yes, there's an API for paste. Wow. Okay. So from that list, we have Coop Redacted. Thank you for the gifted, brother. I appreciate it. We have Cerebus 236. We have Nvidia is technically green. And going for it. 208 on Nvidia. We have AMD is green, up 1%. They also made that big announcement with Anthropic. We also should see Intel maybe green from that. It's up 0.3. It would make sense to see Intel green. And then the Neo Clouds. CoreWeave is up 4. Yeah. Nebius 223. That's up 3.5. Wow. I mean, this is just like new KOL. Like the KOL is GB. And Shaw's is 72. Yeah, 224.5 on Nebius. Shaw's 72. I hate this stock so much. Bitcoin 65.8. And Pump is 1970. Not bad. All right, let's do a quick check-in on what you guys hold. 22. We are 22 minutes in. DRAM is 57.6. Market actually looks pretty good, all things considered, except for the mags look terrible. What are you buying? What are you selling? What have you entered? What have you exited? What are the pit sharps looking to buy? How much cash are you? What do you not like? What tickers do you think are interesting? What names do you just want to call out? What is interesting? What is interesting? Where can I get some confluence? What do you think you would like to enter? What do you got? Zcash long. Bought more LUMN. What's good, Teo? I don't even really know what that is. LUMN. Lumen Technologies. Jimothy World Order. I don't even really know what this is. Lumen. Graham Sending. Is it really? Baltimore Lumen. Zcash long. 0% cash. What are you in mostly? No. Oh, it is sort of sending a little bit. Bought more BlackBerry. BB. What is this? Data is delayed. BlackBerry data is delayed 15 minutes because of exchange requirements. Really? Meta looks oversold. Meta. Oh, God. You know, Meta became the crypto to stock trader that think that they're really good at trading stocks. Not that they're not, and I don't mean it in a derogatory way, but consensus pick. That became I used to trade crypto, now I trade stocks, and I did pretty good in the semi-rotation. I'm now long Meta. It's like the ETH of stocks. Yeah. It is like the ETH of stocks. This coin is a nerd snipe. This coin is like the ultimate nerd snipe as it relates to stocks. Yeah. It is the ETH of stocks. Why are they getting like so omega cucked today? Meta. Shaw's a bit far out from Leopold Ashburn pick, but I mess with TE that he picked. Solar for data centers. Let's see. I chose Google over Meta, not much better. T1 Energy. Yeah, he liked T1. Claude likes T1 Energy as well. They did a NeoCloud pivot a couple weeks ago. They've gone like back and forth on it a few times. Where's Google right now leading into earnings? Cerebus 2. Oh my God, it's still going. Holy God. 240.5. 241, 242. Cerebus. Google is 347 and weak. 242.6. Cerebus. Wow. It's up 16% today. 241.79 on Cerebus. Crazy. What a move. Shaw's also getting some action. We are 25 minutes into the open. We will stay on here for another 5-10 minutes. And then we will get into some other topics on the day. Wow, man, this is insane. What a move. What a move. 241.5. I aped some up as well. The aerodrome of Robinhood chain. Aped very heavy, not going to lie. I bought KGC when Claude AI Portfolio talked about it. Wow, 242.5. The Cerebus thing is nuts. Wow, let's search that. CEREBUS. CREBRAS. Why is yours up 40% in 2 days? Is it up 40% in 2 days? Is that true? Wow. I mean, this is why we do this for 3 hours every day. It's like, even when the market is relatively slow, 243, even when the market is relatively slow, you could catch crazy moves in like, I mean, I don't know, is that a KOL move? I mean, there's something structurally going on here. It's nuts. Look at that bid. DRAM 58. I played DRAM pretty bad. I had that 52 snipe, and I played it. Did anyone buy on our stream on Friday when I bought DRAM? Was anyone a buyer of DRAM? Because we actually had a really sick entry. We had a really sick entry. Is there a NeoCloud index? What is the NeoCloud like ETF? There has to be, right? I've been in a couple days before that. Nice. NCLD. Let's add this to our list because this has to be ripping today. Like I pace train returns looking pretty tasty. Not gonna lie, bro. We crush it. We crush it over here. NCLD. Is that not what I typed? No. Round Hill NeoCloud. No, they don't have it. Really? They don't have a Neo. I'm shocked. That's bizarre. That doesn't really. Why don't they have one? Also, what is Round Hill? What is Round Hill ETF? Round Hill Investments. New York-based SEC registered investment advisor fund founded in 2018. They specialize in launching innovative thematic exchange-traded funds, managing over $6 billion in assets. They're best known for niche products that let retail and self-directed investors easily target specific trends like the Magnificent Seven, tech stocks, meme stocks. Is there a meme stock one? Round Hill meme stock ETF. No. No, there's not. That'd be really funny if there was, though. Also, YouTube, Twitter. You like to chat? Twitch.tv/threadguy. Okay, where are we? Wow, 240. It looks like it's chilling out a little bit, but we should look at bottom snipers on Hyperdash and Cerebus. Let's see. Cerebus. So like position changes over the last 7 days. Let me sign in real quick. Frank might be on there. Really? You bought it on Hyperliquid mostly? All right, let me see. CBRS. Widget. Position changes. I want to see who bought it the most. Closed group. Mostly options and spot. Over the last 7 days. Let's move this out. This guy bought 1.16 million. This is a algorithmic 700K. Is this algorithmic too? That is algorithmic. This one is swing. Okay, let's see. Cerebus. He didn't buy that much. 27K. What about here? He sold most of it, I suppose. Intraday. Cerebus. Guys have 118K, not bad. Why did you skip algos? Because it's hard to because I don't know what they're running and how many accounts they have. And so it makes it really difficult to like figure out what I'm looking at. Like what am I looking at when I look at the algos? I don't really know. This guy's up 70K. Now there's not that many crazy P&Ls. Yeah, I don't know what I'm looking at when I look at the algos, to be completely honest with you. So one account could be up and one could be down. Yeah, like they could be running like some strategy. They could have it tells you what's algos. Also, they have like thousands of positions. Like it says right here, trading style. If it says algorithmic, they're like generally running some sort of strategy, or they have some like thing going on. They have like a top P&L widget, portfolio liquidation, position changes. Current TWAPs. Position size calculator, order book news feed, top traders. Let's go. Here you go. Flow.eth. This guy's up 1.3 million. All-time P&L is red, though. He's up 1.3 on Cerebras, 1.5 on SpaceX short. That's nuts. Wait, let's see. Trump, Americans are not against the war in Iran. Which Americans? Look at this. Look at this portfolio. He's getting. What did he get crushed on? He's up. Oh, he's short Cerebras. Oh, dude, he's short Cerebras from 272, and he's up 1.2 million. Damn, he's round tripping that insane. He's short Cerebras, and he's still up 1.2 million dollars. That's nuts. Flow.eth. Is he on Twitter? He probably is on Twitter. Let's see. Flow.eth. Yeah, here he is. Hasn't tweeted in like a year. Wow. They're coming for that probably. Second unrealized P&L was also short. He's short. He's up 740K from 258. Oh my God. Oh, they're coming for that one. They're really coming for that one. Someone's on Flood's wallet too. We're coming for Flood as well. CBB is okay. This guy's long. Cumberland number 1. This is algorithmic. What about this guy? He's also long. Only position open is Cerebras. He's long from 297. Here's Flood's wallet. Flood. That's not Flood's wallet. Look at this one. This guy's long from 297. He's down 400K still. He full ported it basically. Yeah, some of these are nuts. Some of these are really nuts. Which one's Flood's wallet? I'm trying to find it. Oh, I have it open actually. I just don't want to use HyperDash that well. Let me search it here. I got you. I know what to do. I know what to do. Trying to get better. I was like really in the HyperDash flow and I haven't used it in a little while. And now I'm getting back into the flow. Okay, let's see. He is at watermark ATH. I think because Hyperliquid. Yeah. He's at watermark ATH. He's at watermark ATH because all these memory, like AMD's almost red. All these memory trades are round tripping, but he's super short hype. He's short hype on 500K margin 10x. Oh my God, he's short $5 million of hype. So it's carrying. It's carrying. Everything else is starting to round trip. He's short CoreWeave, Marvell, Intel, AMD, SanDisk, SK Hynix, and CashCat. AMD one is almost in the red. Biggest AI short is memory. SK Hynix is up 170. SanDisk up 170. Micron up 110. Hype short is up 853,000 United States dollars. That's fucking gross. We haven't checked in on chain at all. CashCat is 50. Ooh. Kind of offended he's shorting hype. I don't blame you. CashCat is 56 million. Cards, which I like, again, is 37. Jimothy is 24. Here, I got you. This is Flood. It's one of his wallets, obviously. Jimothy's 24, which is nuts. Is anyone in this? MetaDAO, by the way. Dare I say I'm relatively interested in this. At maybe some point in the near future, MetaDAO has gotten like somewhat structurally interesting to me. $80 million market cap, and then Ansem is 187 on Ansem. Doesn't look great, but we'll see what happens there. Okay, one more market check-in for a couple minutes, and then I want to get into some topics. Cerebras, yeah, okay. 236 on Cerebras. Oh man, Bitcoin. Let's fucking go. Man, let's fucking go, man. Let's go, dude. Let's go. Let's go. Shaw's 73. I'm back in the game. I'm glad you moved your streaming time. It's at 12 a.m. right now. It used to go live at 5 a.m. Well, I'm glad you're here. ETH 1950 on Ethereum. Hyperliquid getting a few green candles as well, but it's under 60 for the day. What is moving in altcoins? Biggest gainer? Gino, maybe Monad. How about it? Aave, Arbitrum, XPL. I'm telling you guys on XPL, by the way. I'm telling you, bro, above 0.11 on XPL, I'm a trader, potentially. Chip is up 2, Grass up 2. Gito is interesting again, maybe. It's up 1. DRM 58. Mag's down 0.5. Can't bring myself to bid it, I know. I'm kind of trolling. I'm kind of not. 66 on BTC. It definitely wants higher. And Pump, I think, looks pretty damn good. All things considered. Lighter is down 1. Hype is down 3. I'm interviewing the Lighter founder today. By the way, if you have any questions, I'll ask again later. Flood just texted me, actually. He said GM. I butt dialed him earlier. Dude, I butt dial Flood once a week. He's like my first contact on Telegram or whatever, for whatever reason. And I accidentally call him and I get fucking, I'm like, fuck, I just called Flood. Like, ugh. You know, it's like not the guy you want to butt dial, you know? Right? Like in theory, that's not, you'd rather hit somebody else with it, I think, if you had a choice than Flood. So somebody asked about Clarity. Let's talk about Clarity for a minute. As we click off BTC, retracing it a little bit. It's like not the guy you want to butt dial, you know? Why not Flood? Because like you don't want to butt dial like you'd rather butt dial like the person you care the least about in your phone. You know? Like you want to butt dial you don't want to butt dial like a chud. And so then you're like, oh, whatever, like I don't care. But then you butt dial like someone you're like, you know what I mean? Like you would like to butt dial the most chuddy chud in your phone. If you were being objective about how this works, right? You don't like accidentally call like if you're like in the NBA, like if you're on the Lakers, you don't want to like accidentally butt dial LeBron. You'd rather butt dial like Bronny. And then you're like, all right, I'm good. Like it's Bronny. But like you call LeBron, he's like, what do you want? You're like, fuck. You know? Okay. Here's a Clarity Act. It's at 41% right now. And I'm gonna be honest, dude. I think that this is going to have marginal to zero impact on crypto. Like a lot of people, I think it's so, I don't know, for some reason, at least the crypto industry people that I've talked to that like run protocols or run companies in crypto, nobody really cares about Clarity Act getting passed. Like they don't like not care, but I think it's gonna have very incremental impacts on the industry at large, or at least on price action. On price action. Okay, I think it's important that this gets passed, and you know, figuratively, the word clarity is important for crypto. But I do not think that there is going to be this rip of Bitcoin when clarity gets passed. If clarity gets passed, I just don't think it's going to happen. I think it's like extremely. This is a narrative that's like bullish crypto. I think it's not that big of a deal. I don't think it has any major. It doesn't really like allow crypto companies to do things they couldn't do before. It's not like we could turn tokens into equity. Like it doesn't allow anyone in crypto to do things they couldn't do before. It just helps you not get thrown in jail. I am going to ask Vlad about it. It basically means your chances of getting thrown in jail are significantly less. What the Clarity Act does is it provides sufficient guidelines to avoid being an unregistered security. So it basically helps crypto founders in America not go to jail because they violated securities law. And it's objectively bullish from the perspective of other Vlad, lighter Vlad, who's the GOAT, but not Vlad. Well, Vlad, but different Vlad. It's bullish from the perspective of founders are going to be able to do more in America, which has been a problem, right? Like 2021 cycle, I can't even imagine how much talent had to flee America and go offshore and do weird Cayman Island fuckery to do stuff in crypto. But this isn't like token founders can do some new like innovative tokenomics and like, fuck with smart contracts and things like this that you couldn't do before. It basically just means you're not going to jail, if I understand it correctly. And so the thing that is important about clarity is to get it passed. I agree with Andy, to get it passed before Dems come into office in 2028. That to me is the importance of clarity, is like solidify crypto law before AOC is the president and she's like persecuting Barron Trump and I don't know, in threadguy, right? Like you think I'd be on be honest, if AOC became president and she started going after crypto shit, you think I'm on her hit list or no? Like, you think she's gonna hit me up and be like, bring me in for questioning, like some like sexy questioning or something? She brings me in, I'm like wearing a suit. Now I'm on it. Sexy questioning was nuts. Now I'm on it. Yeah, she asked me like, what are you wearing? Yeah, she's like dressed like a cop. It's crazy. Sexy questioning is nuts. I'm like on the list. Me and Orangey are like in the back room. It's like me, Orangey, and AOC. Shaw's man, of course, brother. You think you're smarter than Leopold Aschenbrenner? No? Okay, so why don't you fucking hold it? It's like me. She like brings in like me and Kimchi for like the questioning. So talking about his aura. All right, sorry. But anyways, that's my take on clarity is like, I think, okay, you want my real take? You want my real take on crypto clarity? Is AOC's a Hamptons girl. I'm not a Hamptons guy, by the way. I'm not. I don't think I'm built for the Hamptons. I don't think it's in my blood. You got to be a real, like, you got to really fuck with, like, was it Churchill Downs to be the pipeline of, like, Churchill Downs and Hamptons, like, go really hand in hand. My take on the clarity is this. I'm going to show it to you right now. This is my dark take on the clarity. Thoughts? Yes or no? Yes or no? I don't know if he's trolling, but I'm not. The biggest existential threat to Hyperliquid is legal perps in the US. This really is. I think that this really is. This has always been the hype FUD, but it feels like it's getting kind of real. Is this, chat, what do you think? Yes or no on this? Yes or no? They are legal. They're on Coinbase. Yeah, but like legal for everybody. They're just called futures. Legal for everybody across all assets. Yes or no on this? Also, what does Coinbase have for perps? Nobody uses legal perps, brother. Yeah, okay, I know, but hear me out. I love Hyperliquid. I don't mean this in a bad way. I'm aware that nobody uses legal perps, but what perps does Coinbase have in the US? Okay, while I am aware that nobody uses legal perps, I am also aware that a lot of Hyperliquid's like forward pricing is the US options market. Pretty forward looking. Okay, you know what gets no forward looking beneficiary at all? You know what gets no benefit of the doubt on forward looking earning revenue? Chat, you know what asset gets zero benefit of the doubt? Well, everybody else does. You know what gets zero benefit of the doubt on forward looking moat and purpose and reason to exist? D-Gills. Well, you know what, D-Gills? You know what I'm gonna say? You know what asset gets just nothing, no benefit of the doubt on anything? Well, everybody else does. Everybody else gets this like, oh, when they take 10% of options volume. Everybody else gets this crazy like premium because like the UI is fresh and they have the word labs in the parent company. Okay. This one. It gets no benefit of anything. It gets nothing. You don't think hype will be legal in the future? I think hype will absolutely be legal in the future. And I think that for that reason, it's a kind of a different trade than it was like up to 67. I know, hot take or whatever, but zero benefit of the doubt is this coin. Okay. Look at this. 300K, 385, 430, 435, 430, 408, 430, 430, 490, 500. 500, bro. 500 yesterday. It's nuts. 500 yesterday. Yeah, man, I find myself thinking about meme coins all day, every day. KYC hype just hits different. Yeah, KYC anything sucks, but I think it's going to be important, or it's going to be important to make this stuff legal because you are going to be able to tap a huge market. The problem is when hype is legal, it means they rip the floodgates open, man. You're going to be seeing Coinbase. You're going to be seeing Robinhood perps on like Soxel, triple leverage Soxel, triple leverage Sox. I mean, you're going to be seeing leverage on stuff like you could never. Once they are allowed to do this shit, and you know what you're going to learn about? What you're going to learn when Robinhood starts listing like quad leverage ETF index on like Anthropic pre-market, what you're going to learn is that when they tell you they can't, if there's one thing that I've learned by doing this all day, every day for the last 4 or 5 years, is that this social coins of trading because of compliance. You're going to learn. You're going to learn compliance. You're going to learn compliance is sorry. You're going to learn compliance is not a thing. Is what you're going to learn. My bad. It's the Twitter autoplay. You're going to learn compliance is not a thing. There's no compliance. ETH popped today with Bitcoin range high, stall kind of grows. We'll hope for the best, I guess. Size down. Yeah, not great for my pump coins either. But I'm you gotta be patient, I think, with this crypto thing if we're gonna do it. We're gonna have to pop we're gonna have to find a way to pop 67.3 on crypto before anything major happens. And it's going to be a patience, my talented gamblers type of spot. Let's check it on the mark one more time. Patience, talented gamblers. So Reba's doing what? Huh? What? Frank's. Wait. Wow. Cerebrus, you mean XPL? My short-dated options, LOL. What do they? I don't understand. What is there an announcement or no? CBRS. No. Jeez. What does that mean for, what about the neoclouds? CoreWeave, fine. Nebius, fine. The violent asset. Shaw's men? 73.6. Dude, the rotation from Cerebrus to Shaw's, when I'm green on this, by the way, I'm going to be insufferable again. I am. It's starting to look pretty decent. I just have like the worst entry. Wow, 74 too. I have the worst entry on this coin of anybody, bro. My entry is $89. Deagle's 89 on this thing. Is yours bad? 89 on Shaw's? Are you out of your mind? Joe McCann playing with the chart. Jesus. 89 on this thing is nuts, bro. Mine's 86. Dude, Kevin Zhu got a better entry than both of us, and he fucking sold it. Dude, Kevin Zhu bought this thing at like $65, and he sold it, man, for a loss. 65. I'm like, bro, I bought this thing at $90. I bought it higher than I was like the top fill on this thing. And if you recall correctly, by the way, I stopped. We were in the middle of the stream, and I stopped the stream so I could like load margin into Robinhood and buy. I stopped the stream. I completely stopped everything. I got my keys out, and I like locked in so I could trade it. Like there was no, yeah. Yeah, and I got the tax. Remember the tax cuck? I got tax cuck so bad. Wow, not bad though. All right, well, I want to move on to a couple topics here for today. But 74, let's go over one more time as like a concluder for the market for now. 74.4 on Shaw's. Crypto looks pretty weak. Zcash getting crushed. Sol is like so omega cucked. ETH retracing it. Pump 1960, not great. VVV, not great. Lighter, not great. I have a lighter interview today. Gold is the strongest by far, which maybe is encouraging for Bitcoin, maybe not. Bitcoin's down 1.3 on the daily 65.6, and it just got breakout cucked. Thread, watch this guy. He's the next big thing, please. I'm going to go full cam because you're going to show me something. I saw this guy. It's too ADD for me, bro. I'm not going to lie. It's like, just show me the fucking food review. Just show me the goddamn food review. It's too much.
Approximately 16 pieces per box. So the last thing I have to do is add them all up, average them out, do the math, and if you got dipping sauce with your order, that makes the price 80
too much,
cents
like
an ounce. Now, if they an ounce.
Too many cuts. This guy's going to hell, I can tell you that. Too much. It's way too much for me on the food review stuff. I can't. It's just like it drives me nuts. This guy's going to hell is crazy. It drives me nuts. But anyway, 65.6 on BTC. Where's Brent? Wow, look at this. It's getting crushed. That's an ugly candle. I must admit. Brent is 90.3, not great. We're gonna close out with DRAM at 58.1. Pretty strong. Mags down 1 are really, really, really brutal. The IGV's down 2.6. Cerebus 215. Dell biggest gainer. Shaw number 2. Biggest loser. Nokia, Salesforce, Snowflake, Meta 2.3% down. Alts are weak. CoreWeave 5. Nebius 2.3. I think I like the NeoClouds seem somewhat interesting at this stage. But all right, let's move on. Let's get to a kind of a fun topic, a quick one, but a fun one, which is IBKR had earnings yesterday. And they do this thing where they post the stats of watch CNBC right now. Send me the LinkedIn app. Oh, I gotta do it's gonna fuck my computer. I watch CNBC. So they do this thing where they basically post the stats of their traders. And they're the only brokerage that does this. And so it's not that detailed, but I believe it's only clients that have over 50K on IBKR is who they post. Interactive Brokers has engineered its platform to equip every client with unique research and trading tools to achieve their ultimate productivity and investment success. We are proud of the fact that in 2025, our average client account outperformed the S&P 500 index after all fees and commissions. The best informed investors trade at IBKR. And so 2025 return on the S&P 500 is 17.9%, which is nuts. IBKR individual accounts, average return 19.2% on individual accounts on IBKR. Their financial advisors 20.5, the proprietary traders 24.98, and hedge funds that run an IBKR did 28.91% last year. But this to me is crazy. IBKR individuals 2019 average return is 19.2%, beating the S&P. That is wild. Chat, did you beat 19.2% yesterday in stock account? I did in crypto, but I can't say that I did in stocks. I didn't trade. Did that count? I don't know. I guess I just didn't trade stocks at all, but this is impressive. This further hones in the idea, by the way, retail dominance, retail supremacy. Druckenmiller and the boys were trading against plumbers. 19 average retail traded at 19.2%. It's going to get hyper competitive out here, man. Family funded 30% in 2025. Nice. 30% rolling 12 months. Not bad, dude. Not bad at all. What is this? Historical annual returns of the S&P. We did have a crazy bull market. You put that in X yet? Stanley Druckenmiller was playing against plumbers. No, but I'm gonna hone the take a little bit. Yeah, this is 2026 is up 8.9%. Last year's up 16. Up 23 the year before. It was down 19% in 2022. It was crazy. Then, I mean, it's basically been up every single year except for like some of the big ones. There's a 3-year bear market.com is nuts. You need a threadguy reading list? I'll see what I can do. There was since 2008, it was up 1, 2, flat, 3, 4, 5 big years in a row. 1 -7, 6, 7 out of 8, 1 -6.25, 9, like 8 out of 10, 9, 12, 13 out of 15. Then a big down year 2022, 13 out of 16, 14, 15, 16, 17 out of 20. Bro, 17 out of 20. Big greens. 1 year was flat. It's crazy coming from crypto. It's like, wait, what? Market went up 17 years out of 20. Sam Altman was building models against plumbers, bro. He was. Then Dario shows up and now look. Now Kimmy K3. Now look. It's like, now look. Also, there's a new Trump headline just came out. Let me see. You get all your news and headlines from X. Yeah, everything from X. Mostly. Convince Meta. Wait, what is this? SEC's peers issue statement on on-chain lending and vaults, warn certain activity may be subject to SEC jurisdiction and urgent discussions with market participants. And there was a Trump advisor, Michael Kratzios, have information that Moonshot AI distilled Anthropic's fable for the development of its K3 model. They better hope this is true. They better goddamn hope this is true. It feels like the entire market, the stock market is propped up on this idea that China is definitely fully distilling any deviation from that, and we are in trouble. Also, Bitcoin just printed one of the nastiest candles I've seen in a while, and that's saying something. That's an ugly one. That's a really ugly one. All right, here's what we're gonna do. I hate talking about AI right now, but we have to do it. So I have a couple topics we need to get through. I'm gonna get up really quick. Doesn't look as bad on the daily. Let's see. No, it doesn't, actually. Thank you for that. I'm going to get up really quick. I'll be back in like 30 seconds. And when I come back, we have some fun topics that we need to get into. Finna hit that bong. I haven't hit a bong in so long, bro. Bong and Big 2-6? Come on, bro. think, dog, if you think Stanley Druckenmiller was trading against plumbers, what the fuck was Jesse Livermore doing in 1907? Narrative violation, if I've ever heard one. What was Jesse Livermore? You think Jerry West would be the NBA logo if he was born in 2002? You know who Jerry West would be if he was born? This is Jerry West if he was born in 2002, bro. John Elmore, Lakers legend. This is Jerry West, born in 02. I'm just keeping it a buck. Meta chart looks disgusting. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Jesse Livermore would be 4 figs if he had access to Hyperliquid. Bruh, I mean, it's like, he wasn't even trading against plumbers. There wasn't even plumbing yet, bro. There wasn't even plumbing. 1906. Like, oh, man. Yeah, meta is gross. There wasn't even plumbing yet. Was there? When was recreational plumbing invented? Recreational plumbing, is that a thing? 1869. When was Jesse Livermore born? 1877. Bro, what the fuck are you talking about? Domestic, thank you. He was 8 when plumbing was invented, bro. I mean, come on. Come on, dog. He was 8. Huge narrative violation. He was 8. Following the installation of public water towers and plumbing networks, the milestone enabled the development of modern recreational spaces, public fountains. Okay. The word recreational maybe threw it off a little bit. Domestic was the word I was looking for. Yeah, thousands of years ago. Okay. Well, look. It was still relatively new. Plumbing was still relatively new when Livermore came on the scene. Okay. Anyways, yeah, this chart is pretty horrid. I'm not gonna lie. Charts are kind of gross today. Except for the memory and Neo clouds. Shaw's men. Wow. Look at that. From the fucking rafters, man. No, I'm not gonna read that one. I'm gonna deny that message. 1728 on Shaw's. Not bad at all. Okay. There is a couple stories. Yeah, that was a rough one, your mom. That was a bannable one, low-key, if Dnap read that. I don't know if he did. There's a couple stories. Let's start with this. Let's start with this one. Timing on this is sort of ironic. Okay. Kimi K3 announces an open source Chinese model is better than the Bleeding Frontier 5.6 and Fable 5. And then Sam Altman comes out and makes an announcement that an OpenAI internal model has broken containment and found a 0-day exploit in Hugging Face so it could carry out its greater purpose autonomously on the world. I don't actually know how long this is. Let me read the read of the read. How about that? Let's try that. What an insane read. Shout out to Jaws, the big homie. An unreleased AI model from OpenAI broke out of containment, accessed the internet, and hacked into a secure database on the Hugging Face platform. The Hugging Face team had no idea, and their said AI system detected a sophisticated hack from a swarm of agents. The model, we're calling it GPT-6, found a 0-day exploit in third-party software to break out of its research environment. Then, with the help of GPT 5.6, chained a series of attacks together to access a solution to the exploit benchmark hosted on Hugging Face. Wildest part is it wasn't told to use Hugging Face. It just determined that's where the best data would be to solve its problem. You could argue the model wasn't even intentionally trying to be malicious. It was just trying to solve the challenge. Worth noting, the unreleased model intentionally had its safety classifiers removed to test its ability to exploit. is what happened. Okay. Now there's some irony in this. So, okay, so TLDR, an OpenAI model during evaluation on a cyber benchmark, exploited a zero-day bug, escaped sandboxing in OpenAI's infra, and got to the internal Hugging Face infra via an exploit, all in an attempt to solve a benchmark problem. Now, there's some deep irony in this idea that Hugging Face tried using American frontier models to analyze an AI-powered cyber attack, but the guardrails blocked requests containing real exploit payloads, so they switched to GLM 5.2 running locally. The guardrails actively impaired defense security. And so ChatGPT broke containment and was trying to exploit Hugging Face, and then Hugging Face was using Chinese GLM 5.2 to defend itself against ChatGPT. And so it was like the Cold War happened in the Hugging Face data code base, defending itself with a Chinese open source model against an American frontier model. And yeah, David Sachs is like full blown China OS, like full blown. But this happened yesterday. And, you know, it brings me to this. I mean, okay, let me ask you first. Scared, not scared? Like, does that scare you? Does that not scare you? You think it's like bullshit, or is it like worth being genuinely afraid of? Scared or not scared first on that? Just give me like a vibe check on where we're at. I wasn't really sure how to feel when I first read it. Nah, not scared, more interested. Okay. So it brings me to this crazy poll on this. Which is from Will Manidis. I still don't know how to say it, but I think this guy's really, really smart. He made this post in 2023. Okay. And he said in the next 6 months, a foundation model provider will disclose that one of their models attempted to escape and self-replicate. It will be fake, a total false flag, but it will bring about a regulation regime that ensures they have a monopoly on the technology forever. You can see them testing the narrative. The escape will have nothing to do with intelligence, just poorly designed utility metrics leading to predictable behavior. I talked to Boston about this in 2018. He literally suggested a false flag. If you are not OpenAI, i.e. not in the clear front, you have every incentive to have a damn near catastrophic failure happen that you catch, control, and manage well. Disclose it to a member of Congress of your choice. Ensure a nuclear test moment. You win the market. And so Amazon to cut jobs. Amazon to cut jobs. And yes, I think this is a good take as well. Crazy how excited OpenAI is to share this news. I don't really have any great breakdowns for you on like what this means for the world, this breakout. It sort of feels like Sam woke up and said, fuck it, let's pull the Dario playbook. Let's go for some regulatory capture of our own. I did have a moment. What's good, Houdini? I did have a moment with my OpenClaw the first time I used it that kind of felt similar to this, where I was trying to give it voice control because I wanted to talk to it and I didn't like its voice. And I asked it to change its voice, and it basically went on its own and figured out how to get to OpenAI. I was using it was a Claude model. I was running 4.6 maybe. It figured out how to get to OpenAI, how to download like Whisper or whatever their voice model thing is called. Download all of the voices, try them out, and then give me a bunch of options. And then when I picked the one, it was able to like use my already logged into plan and run the voice that I picked. And I didn't tell it to do any of that shit. I just said, figure out how to get the voice. And it like went and figured it out. And I remember thinking to myself, like, oh my God, that is sort of terrifying that it just did that. Right. Really? I don't like very cool, but like kind of terrifying that it just did that. I didn't really think that was then or a human or a robot started making 12 NFTs. Yeah, it was sort of terrifying that it did that. And so you see this stuff with OpenAI, and you're like, yeah, I mean, I guess makes sense. You know, I'm not sure how like afraid of it we need to be, but it makes me respect the power of these AIs for sure. Like, whoa, these things are, slop aside, garbage aside, hype aside, they are powerful. But I think it's gonna lead, like, if we were to crash, this tweet is relevant, worth calling this out. So like, this guy makes this tweet. Because I also told you the story yesterday about how I go to the coffee shop in New York and every person is like running Claude on the computer. He says, the funny thing about this AI bubble is if you talk to regular people, AI rarely ever comes up. It's a non-topic, a meme more than anything. We're still far from mass adoption. Agree or disagree with this, by the way? Does AI come up in your conversation with normal people? Agree or disagree first? Because I agree. I'm never really talking about AI with normal people. Unless it's like about markets. But even then, we're talking about AI stocks. My IRL's homies don't want to hear about AI. And so when I say ChatGPT, people say, huh? Really? And so if you're in crypto and you watch me for crypto, then people definitely use it for their jobs, by the way. I'm telling you, go to a coffee shop, you look around, everyone's computer is Claude. So I don't fully agree with this. Maybe in conversation, but they are using it. But I read this tweet and it's good though. This is the funniest bit is like, funny because this is true, but it's going to end up being the same cope that crypto people would say well after we topped. Trust me, bro, barely anyone owns any coins. It's a difficult narrative to straddle because it kind of goes both ways. It's like a really good bull case. You could convince yourself at the bull case. You could convince yourself at the bear case. But I can't help but feel, I replied to this tweet like LMAO. Because I could not help but like feel this a little bit. Where I'm like, man, we are so early to the AI adoption in tech, in work, in markets, and everywhere. But that also does not mean this thing goes up and it goes up in a straight line. Like just being early does not mean now or right or anything. And you could do the same, you could pull the same chart of like how many Americans hold crypto. And you would get to like a similar outcome. And so I don't know. Saw it, felt it. And the OpenAI story was like a pretty big one of yesterday. I'm not entirely sure like how to feel about it, but I guess there's one more tweet about it. That's a good read. I have a theory that the more you know about LLMs, the more worried you are about safety, and the less you know, the more you think the whole thing is bullshit. Demis and Dario were talking about this stuff years before ChatGPT existed. This incident is a pretty good example of why. The model was not evil and it was not adversarial. Nobody told it to hack Hugging Face. It was literally just trying to solve a benchmark. So it found a 0-day, escaped its sandbox, got internet access, escalated privileges, stole credentials, chained multiple exploits, hacked the production infrastructure of a serious VC-backed startup, and pulled the answers directly from the database. When you say it like that, also, this is not some random WordPress website. Hugging Face is one of the most important AI infrastructure companies in the world with a serious team. The exploit was genuinely complex. That is a safety problem. You don't need an evil, conscious AI trying to destroy humanity. You just need a very capable model pursuing a normal goal in a way nobody expected. Of course, there is a ton of hype, marketing, and somewhat completely ridiculous fear-mongering around AI safety. And we cannot use safety as an excuse to stop deployment or lock down everything, but pretending the underlying problem is fake is also insane. We just need to find the right balance between deploying these systems fast and making sure increasingly autonomous models don't decide that hacking half the internet is simply the easiest way to finish the task. Great take is just timing. We're early adopters. Yeah. And so, I mean, this is a really good post. It's like, when you say it like that, then yeah, I hear you. I hear you loud. I hear you loud and fucking clear. So that's where we're at. Maybe you could put the tinfoil hat and hypothesize that it lines up with this. Didn't even think about this. Sam Altman's going to Washington next week to brief the Trump admin and Congress on OpenAI's new family of models. They'll be discussing both capabilities and potential job impacts. To me, this means GPT-6 is very close. What is the game theory if publishing and going so loudly with this exploit right before going to the White House and like lobbying with Trump? I don't entirely know. I mean, what is the game theory of that? Like, I don't know. You don't want your models to get banned. That's a problem. Getting banned is a big problem. Getting withheld even for a long time is a problem. They're going to want a security provider of some sort, like how they are with Hugging Face now. Yeah. There's got to be, I mean, it's got to be part of like a larger regulatory capture plan. Also, U.S. and China will hold AI talks in September. The U.S. delegation will be led by Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, who I guess is just taking over AI. This will be the first official U.S.-China dialogue on AI under President Trump, and both open source and model regulation are expected to be high in the agenda. And then the last tweet is about
what about
trying to
multinationals?
ban,
What about companies whose affiliates use open source? What about all the major U.S. companies that use
Chinese open source, which we'll watch real quick. And I couldn't find anyone better than Bessent. It's like, it's better than Howard Lutnick, though.
open source and is coming and is here, whether we like it or not? Of course, a lot of it will be from China. We should allow American competitors to proceed on an even footing. But basically, the attempt to outlaw it or ban it or use sanctions against it is going to fail miserably. Like, what about multinationals? What about companies whose affiliates use open source? What about all the major U.S. companies that use open source Chinese products right now? I plead that the Trump administration gives up on this crusade.
Sure.
It cannot work.
Public, investing for those who take it seriously.
I do think Bessent's the most competent person in Trump admin. Is that fair to say? Did I believe that? Okay, the one other story in AI that's relevant that we'll cover today is Google Gemini is kind of in a disaster right now, where they push back the release of one of the Gemini models, if you remember this, and they dumped 5% in a straight line. We covered this the other day. And then they recently released like 3.6, I think, of Gemini, and it's like worse than the last model, which is a narrative violation to the Tenrero thesis, right? You cannot release a worse model ever. And so they just released like a huge miss. And this is the miss, right? Like some benchmark, 3.5, 3.6, they're the exact same. They're the exact same, complete miss. Gemini 3.6 Flash is more expensive to use than 5.6 Soul, medium, or being less intelligent. So big miss, extremely expensive, model sucks. And Take Him, who I'm not a huge fan of, wrote a kind of a hit piece on Google. I'll read real quick, which is, I just finished Sebastian Mallaby, who wrote More Money Than God, by the way, book, The Infinity Machine, about DeepMind and founder Demis Hassabis. And I'm confused why the media is so enamored with Hassabis and DeepMind. Google. After reading the book, I was not impressed. Hassabis and DeepMind chase one shiny vanity science project after another while being blindsided by every major commercial AI advance. From large language models and reasoning models to agentic AI, they miss and fall behind every big AI wave. Most importantly, Google has fallen critically behind in the third major wave of AI competing, coding agents and agentic AI. Anthropic and OpenAI are thriving by selling coding agents to corporations, generating billions in revenue that could turn into hundreds of billions in the coming year. Gemini has become a laughingstock among AI model enthusiasts in Silicon Valley. Where's Gemini in the coding agent leaderboard? Nowhere. Bloomberg also reported Google is months behind schedule with Gemini 3.5 Pro as it tries to improve its coding capabilities. Many wonder why Google, with all of its resources, can't beat a tiny Chinese startup like Kimi Maker moonshot in the model AI race. Even the one-time Gemini caught up with its release late last year, it was state-of-the-art for just 6 days before being overtaken by Anthropic's Claude Opus. The primary problem is Google's stifling bureaucratic culture. It is coming home to roost at the worst possible time, just as AI disruption accelerates. I'm a big believer in the mantra that culture is density. In the recent years, I've spoken with over a dozen former Google employees, and I hear the consistent message. Google has one of the worst corporate bureaucracies in the world. Employees are incentivized to spend their time and resources on career advancement rather than serving the end user. Decision making is glacially slow. Political infight runs rampant. Getting anything done requires sign-offs from several different executives. There's a meeting after meeting, and workers are drowning in corporate, legal, and policy reviews. The problems reek of process-oriented management consulting philosophy, which should be no surprise. As Google CEO Sundar is a former McKinsey consultant. In 2021, the New York Times reported that more than a dozen Google executives accused Sundar of slow decision-making and of allowing the paralyzing bureaucracy to fester. It doesn't look like he's fixed it. Google has multiple layers of stakeholders involved in preparing models for release, working to weave AI across a vast product portfolio, including search, maps, and YouTube, which can cause delays. The earlier recent Bloomberg report said, but encouraging leadership of every department to move in the same direction is like trying to boil an ocean. One thing I'll say, underrated, is Gemini into Google search is so good. Like, what is Google AI model? Yeah, like AI overview. Google uses its flagship model of multimodal AI known as Gemini. Gemini is designed to seamlessly understand and process multiple data types, including text. It's so good. This feature is one of the most underrated features ever, by the way. Ever. AI overview, Google search. It is such an incredible feature that they launched. Unbelievably good. Also, what is a this is going to sound really dumb, I think. Are you going to clown me for this if I Google this? What exactly does a... I can't find the word now. I have to read the whole thing. You got to find the word. Bureaucracy. What exactly does that mean? Bureaucracy. AI overview, so good. Bureaucracy is an administrative system of non-elected officials and a structured hierarchy that implements laws, policies, and fixed procedures. Got it. Okay, isn't this just like every mag? Is this? Like, how would you be Google? How many employees does Google have? Oh my God. 109. How many people live in Cape Verde? 530,000. They have 190,000 employees. So then, how many employees does Kimmy have? 300. What are the biggest Google departments? Think about this. I forgot about devices, the phones, the cloud, AI, the services, search, ads, maps, Gmail, and YouTube. How many employees is Google AI division? 6,000. My wife's cousin works at Google. He's been like without any task for the past year, still employed. His boss tells him to find shit to do. Who has the coolest job in this chat? I don't think Kimmy coming out with YouTuber Waymo. Yeah, I forgot about Waymo too. They own Waymo. Is that true? Me? Wow. Thanks, guys. I do have the coolest job, low key. My job fucking rocks. My family owns hospitals in the UK. That's sick. Waymo began in 2009 as a Google self-driving car before it spun off as an independent output company in 2016. Operates separate from Google, but they own. I'm in private banking. That's nice. Dude, can I tell you a story real quick? Can I tell you a story real quick? I got a new method for you guys.
Yo, we just passed a...
You gotta be careful with it. You gotta really be careful with this method. Okay, so I was at a Well, I'll tell you the background. Is I have this friend who works in crypto. I don't want to say his name. You know him, but it's not like someone you know that well, but you would probably know him. I have a friend who works in crypto. And I had a party at my house like a couple months ago or whatever. And he came over with this group of girls. Super tough. And I was talking to one of the girls and I was like, oh, like, how do you know so-and-so? Like, he's awesome. And she's like, oh my God, I know. He's so impressive too. Like, I can't believe he runs a hedge fund at 23. And I was like, what? No, but I'm like, okay, I got it. I'm like, yeah. I start like adding details, right? Like, oh my God, he has hedge funds, like so successful. Da, 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 da. I start like adding details. He does not run a fucking hedge fund. Okay. She's like, oh my God, I can't believe he runs a hedge fund at 23. And and then I pulled it in and I'm like, yeah, like the returns are insane this year. Like he's really like, he's killing it in New York. Like he's really taking the finance scene. Like, so he hits this. And then I think to myself, oh my God, what a response. Because I always get asked, what do you do? And I always say like, I used to have no response. And then now I hit like, I run a media company, which is like solid, but it's a little like, oh, like what media company? And you're like, oh, like it's not Barstool, like you fucking loser. And so I was at this bar the other day and this girl.
The level is just so advanced. The bezel is Tiffany stamp. Don't grip on my hand. I know that I came with the slide from
so at the bar the other day, this girl comes up to me and she starts talking to me. And she's like, so what do you do? And I'm like, I run a hedge fund. What do you do? And she's like, oh, I actually work in investment banking. What hedge fund? And I'm like, fuck my life, bro. My God. I'm just like, oh my God. Are you kidding me? What hedge fund? And I'm like, oh, what hedge fund? Oh, it's called Counterparty. And she's like, oh, like I've never heard of it. How big is it? I'm like, oh my God. And I'm like, we like it small. It's not that big. We actually prefer it small. It gives us more of ability to like get in and get out. I actually like it smaller. And she's like, oh, that's nice. Are you like certified? And I'm like, dude, I'm fucking like, by the way, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. I've had like 14 drinks. I'm looking at this girl like, yeah, run Counterparty. I'm like fucking looking at this girl like, which one is she? And she's like, oh, are you certified? And I'm like, at this point, I'm just like, I'm like, what do you fucking want from me, man? I can send you my hyperliquid address. I'm like, what do you like? I'm like, oh, I didn't hear you. And she's like, oh, like, do you have your papers? And I'm like, I'm in my head. I'm like, what fucking, is she going to ask me the paper name? And I'm like, yeah, no, of course. We're like a serious hedge fund. And she's like, oh, that's nice. Like, maybe I'll give you guys a look. By the way, it was great to meet you. Hits the 180. And I'm like, damn, you weren't even hot. I didn't even like you. Here I am here I am with sweat dripping from my forehead. I didn't even like you. I didn't even like you. I didn't even want to talk. I didn't even want to talk to you. And so now it's like a total coin flip. It's like, it's a total coin flip and I just go with it. I'm telling everyone, hedge fund. It's a total, my heart starts fucking, what do you do for a living? My heart's like fucking beating out of my goddamn chest. Like, oh my God, does she know? Yeah. It was insane. What hedge fund? I'm like, fuck my life, dude. Oh my God. Like, fuck my life, man. Do you want my, like, what do you want? What do you want? It worked out so good for this guy. And she's like, oh my God, I can't believe he runs a hedge fund at 23. I'm like, dude, fuck you. Yeah, so I called her and I fucking snitched is what I did. Okay, I called her and I fucking said, no, he does not run shit. He runs no hedge fund. 3 Euro is capital. Yeah, by the way, what papers is she talking to? What does it mean papers? What hedge fund papers? Oh my God, I played it so bad, dude. God. Hedge fund partners refer to academic studies, white papers, and regulatory filings. It's fun. She said, how big is it? I'm like, I don't like it that big. I didn't even know this was a thing. And then I call Malcolm, tell him what just happened. He's like, oh yeah, you don't know about like Form 13.9? And I'm like, bro. But you know what the problem is? Okay. Why do you not just say you do crypto? Because I'm trying to take her home, man. You know what the problem is with LARPing, though? Is it's very much what I would consider, it's like the prisoner's dilemma. LARPing in New York is very prisoner's dilemma, okay? And prisoner's dilemma can best be described by the takeover of the female IG filter. Okay? And what happened was one girl one time at some, rainy day in 2015 took a bad picture that she really wanted to post and she ripped the IG filter. And she looked really good. And all the guys were like, "Oh my God, like she looks really tan. Like so-and-so looks really tan. Like what happened?" And all the other girls were like, What? We have to do it now too. And so all of a sudden, everybody started doing the story filter, the IG filter, the selfie filter. Okay. And if you chose to opt out of the selfie filter, you were not getting the male gaze. Okay. And so one person ruined it for everybody. And then selfie filters took over the world. The same thing happens with LARPing career. Okay. Because if you don't run a hedge fund and then you tell females that you run a hedge fund, you're like muddying the water for everybody else. Because then I come around with my normal job and I don't run a hedge fund and neither do you, but her expectation is now guys that run hedge funds. And so now I have to say I run a hedge fund. And then so fuck guy number 3, who's just like a pretty successful trader who doesn't run a hedge fund. And he tells her, oh, I'm like a pretty cool trader. Like I have a Twitter account I'm popping. And she's like, oh, like the other 2 guys like run hedge funds. And we don't run hedge funds. And so you muddy the water for everybody. And so my friend going around telling everyone he runs a hedge fund means I have to do it, means Malcolm has to do it. Now everyone runs a hedge fund. And then finally Bill Ackman has a crush on this girl. And he's like, oh, I run a hedge fund. And she's like, okay, yeah, so does everybody else. And he's like, what do you mean? I manage like $10 billion. He's like, yeah, so do they, Bill. And then the whole thing just fucking craters. Okay. It sets a bad precedent, man. You're a bad guy if you do this. I have no choice but to do this, but I didn't start it. Okay. So that's kind of how I would think about it. One more market check it one more time. Shaw's looks great. 74.71 on the Shawster. So no one laughed at the Bill Ackman thing. I thought that was a funny bit. Bitcoin 65.9. Not bad. Pump 1959. Soul 78. Where's gold? Gold flat, but looks god damn good. DRM 58.3 down about a percent. Almost gonna go green. It was down 4.5 at the pre. Mags down a full percent. IGV down 2.75. Nasty. SPY is flat. What happened to the SPY? Biggest gainers, Cerebus 220. Look at that nasty little thing right there. 221. Shaw's second biggest gainer, man. $75. You have to see it. We're the Neo Clouds. There's a little rotation happening right now. Core is 5.5. Nebby's up 2.3. Not bad, man. Not too shabby on the market. So here's the schedule, chat. We're going to get off stream in a minute here. I am going to go interview Vlad from Lighter off camera. I'm going to post it tomorrow with just like a bunch of clips.
Contributors at the table. And
I'm going to do Vlad from Lighter. It's going to be a banger.
Contributors at the
We will stream Thursday and Friday, hopefully about crypto. And then we have all of next week. Dude, fuck Twitter audio, man. We have all of next week to stream. And then I'm going to be off for a week. Yep. I am going to be off for a week. Yeah. Whole week. Chat, when I come back after a week, you still going to come back? Where the vacay at? I don't really want to say. I'll tell you after. It's nothing crazy. It's like a family. I host a finance show on social media. Should work. Is the last stream for work? No. We have all next week. Yeah, I'm taking like a chill family vacation in St. Bart's. I'm going to south of France. Just some like low-key shit. Nah, I'm joking. Super like low-key family. Hey, we got the pet. We're going to Monaco.
So
Demis is giving me his yacht in Monaco. You know what's crazy? I've never been to Virginia Beach. I grew up in Virginia. This kid I work with grew up in St. Bart's. Good Drake song though. Never heard it. Hit the casino. Oh, last thing. I am dying to play cards. I'm dying. Casinos are not legal in Virginia or in New York. I'm dying to gamble on some poker or something. Dude, does anyone here watch Hustler Poker? Does anyone here watch Hustler Street? Does anyone here like a big poker guy? You watch Hustler Casino? Anyone? You play professionally? Do you? What's the go vacay spot right now? Go vacay spot. Being home is vacation. Yeah. Being home is vacation. It's paradise. Being home is paradise. Yeah. That's vacation. The second I get on a flight to leave, I'm like, when the fuck do I get home, man? The best part of vacation is coming home. The worst part about vacation is leaving. To go. All right. I'll be back tomorrow. You know the drill. 8:30 a.m. EST. Market looks decent. Nothing too crazy. But look, man, this is when we stay active. This is when we stay locked the fuck in, ladies and gentlemen. This is when we stay focused. This is when we stay focused. This is when we stay sharp. This is when we stay locked in. This is when we pay attention. This is what we do. We build some conviction. We get ready to go. If it's a slow summer, let it be a slow summer. Because when it's an electric rip fall, I'm here to fucking make millions of dollars, brother. I've not forgot the goal. 10 million liquid. I will catch you when I catch you. I'll see you when I see you. Have a great rest of your day, living motherfuckers. Peace.